Hello and welcome to The Spirit Safe. My name's Rob. Thank you very much indeed for joining me. Last time we had a Scotch whisky, so this time we'll have a foreign whisky, or a whisky that is not from a typical whisky making country, and it's a German whisky this time. First German whisky we've had on the channel, and it is a 3-year-old Bavarian single malt from the Slyrs distillery in Bavaria. It's bottled by that boutique whiskey company, which is owned by the Whisky Exchange or Master and Malt. I think Master and Malt. Aged 3 years, bottled at 52.5% ABV, and this little 50cl bottle, I bought it on the black market in Vancouver. So I can't remember what I paid, but obviously I paid a premium for it because it had to be smuggled into the country. But I think it sells for about 65 GBP at Master and Malt. What do I want to better say about Slyrs? Don't know anything about German whiskey. I know that Slyrs is one of the bigger German distilleries and it's relatively new. There are others, and I'm keen to try a couple of German whiskies actually. This was the one that was available to me, this 3-year-old Bavarian. I do like the cartoon bottle. So yeah, I think it's cask strength. 52.5% is going to be cask strength. It's not declared as cask strength, but it's not going to be far off, is it? Okay. Let's see what we have. An intense cereal note and quite the alcohol note, as you would expect with it being young, only 3 years old, and bottled at that high percentage. It is a young one, quite nippy, very spirit led, but there's a floral note, there's kind of cleaning chemical, not a bad cleaning chemical, a little bit of the old dry cleaning fluid going on there. It does seem young, but I would believe you if you said it was a 5, 6, 7-year-old whiskey rather than 3. So it's had 3 good years, I'd say. It's spirity, bubblegum, a lot of vanilla there, a little bit of honey, lavender. It doesn't say what kind of cask it was in, but I don't pick up any wine or sherry influence. It's probably an ex-bourbon cask or virgin oak cask. Malt, or it's not ridiculously malty. It doesn't have all those honeyed notes to it, but it does have a kind of a dryish, spicy cereal note to it. A lot of sage and menthol. Lemons, oranges, herbs, spices, beer hops. A bit of fruity apple peel, but it's not the most complex on the nose. It's just a lot of cereal, a lot of oak, and alcohol. On the palate at full strength, obviously you're dealing with a 3-year-old whiskey at high strength. It is drinkable, but not particularly elegant at its full strength. There's a lot of vanilla, but there's a big wave of kind of leathery, slightly offish, heavy malt. Bit of sweetness, but very, very spirity. It has a real bitter edge, bitter herbs, lemon. It's kind of oily in the mouth, but it's not got the kind of velvety mouthfeel to it. It just has a very oily and punchy mouthfeel. Nuts, little bit off bitterness, kind of beer hop note, slightly off, leathery bitterness, a little bit nippy and yeasty as well. Picking up a bit of chocolate on the nose now though. So let's add some water and see where we get to. Unsurprising that a 3-year-old whiskey at over 50% ABV will take a touch of water. Just a little. Beginning to open up a little bit more. Raisins, maple syrup starting to appear. Blackberries, more of a complex oak. The oak notes have softened from a very overwhelming young oak to, becoming a little bit more of a sweet vanilla type oak. I've definitely got some mint, and it's still got that herbal edge to it. Apple blossom picking up a varnish or lacquer. A little bit floral. Kind of hot mints. Not the very sweet mints, but the breath mints that aren't particularly sweet. Oat cereal starting to pick up a little bit more honey as it settles down with the water. Much more pleasant on the palate with a little bit of water, picking up a champagne sort of grape, coffee, pleasant dryness, a little bit of a bitter herbal edge, sweet orange, much more approachable cereal notes, cream soda, apple cider vinegar, but it's still a supple spirit with a little tang towards the back. Finish, not the longest finish in the world. It's of almond or marzipan, a kind of natural apple juice, a freshly squeezed apple juice, not a very sweet supermarket type apple juice. Bitter lemon, slightly overripe fruit, vanilla, milk chocolate, little bit of chocolate mint right at the back, and dry cinnamon. So overall, it's not the most wonderful. It doesn't stand up to a 25-year-old Scotch. This is a 3-year-old whiskey. I'm glad I bought it. I don't think I'm banging down the door to get a second bottle. £65, if I'd paid that much, I would be okay with it. But obviously, I had to pay a premium. So I'm not trying to bash down the door for another bottle of it. But it's good to try, and I think I'll probably try an older German whiskey when I get the opportunity. Anyway, hope you like the review, and hope to see you again soon. Cheers, goodbye.